Damn it. Everything. Okay, so delete that me. What's going on, guys? So I wanted to post a video about the post that I put up the other day about some guy showing up at my mom's house at 6 o'clock in the morning looking for me. So I did talk to my mom last night at Miss Shoki's birthday dinner and got more details about it. So, one thing that I guess I misconstrued is that he was looking for me to pick me up for work because I didn't have a car. I believe that was just misunderstanding on my part because of the way my mom worded it. So, here's what happened. Right before 6, like 5:50 in change, she's woken up by a horn honking. But she didn't realize that's what was going on for a little bit. What is this doing over here? Sorry, I'm just noticing little things around the house. So she's woken up by a horn honking. And then, while still kind of in a barely awoken stupor, she hears banging on the door. Like, not gentle, knock, 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 like pounding on the door. So, she thinks it's my dad, because he's got issues. So she gets up, goes and checks on him. He's still in bed. He's not even awake, so she knows it's not him. But then he does wake up, because now he hears it, which is impossible because my dad has got no hearing. He wears hearing aids and all that. So, it's loud enough that in the back bedroom, you can hear pounding on the window or on the door. Still only 6 o'clock in the morning. Now, mind you, I'm at work at this point. I'm already at work. I get to work around about 5:50 or so. So she goes to the door. She jumped in her nightgown. My dad's in his underwear, like standing behind her a little bit. So she checks the lock, turns off the alarm, opens the door, and like through the screen door, she's like, "Yes." And it's this skinny dude. She said he was probably looked like he was in his 20s, but who knows? And he's kind of average height, shaggy dark hair, like whether that's brown or black or whatever. He's just in a very loose fitting wife beater and some type of like khaki work pants or shorts, whatever. He looks very disheveled, and he's like a little, kind of freaked out and like panicky, which is weird in its own right. And he asks if I'm there. Now, mind you, he refers to me by name. Doesn't call me Shoki. Refers to me by name. And then she says, "No, he doesn't live here anymore." And then he goes, basically he's like, oh, okay, well, and then he like freaks out a little bit more, like really confused, and then kind of backing away and walking away, just kind of, he's like, okay, I gotta go to work, okay, whatever. And so he leaves. Sorry, I'm just noticing this spot in the ceiling. I hope that's not from a water leak. That's just kind of unfortunate. Nothing runs there, so that wouldn't make any sense. Anyways, what she said was there was a loud truck, whether that's exhaust or something like that, and looked like a big jacked up dually with like really big wheels and tires. And he had like super bright lights, so she couldn't tell what kind of truck, couldn't see license plate, couldn't see any of that. Mind you, my mom's old and her vision sucks in the dark anyways, but instead of going through, like, there's a little, circular area to turn around and go back out, they backed out. So, if it was somebody who was familiar with my parents' house, they would know you could just whoop No problem. If it's somebody who was super familiar with me, they would know I don't live there. So here's the thing. I know everybody was kind of freaking out that maybe it's some stalker from YouTube. One, they would have to know my name. Two, they would have to try to Google me or look me up somehow to find my address. So they might find my parents' address. I don't know. That would just be strange in and of its own right. Ooh, there was a big old sharp screw sitting here on the floor. Good thing I didn't step on that. Which, I mean, I guess in this modern day could be possible. But here's the way I look at it. It seemed like when he panicked, like for whatever reason, he was stopping by the house at like 6 in the morning. Now, I've had some weird friends back in the day who necessarily weren't all there. And there's some people who've made questionable decisions in their lives, whether that's regarding alcohol or drugs or whatever. So, by the description, and this is a young-ish white guy. She thinks he had a mustache, nothing crazy, no other facial hair to speak of, no glasses, no nothing. She didn't say anything about piercings or anything visible or tattoos, because he's just wearing a loose wife beater, if you know what I mean by wife beater. So it's a very strange situation. And before she could ask who he was, he hopped back in the truck and left. Now, she doesn't know if he was by himself or he was riding with somebody, but he said he needed to get to work. Now, that doesn't necessarily fit the description of anybody I know at work. Also, anybody I work with would have known I was already at work. Anybody who actually knows me would have my phone number or at least have me on Facebook if they needed to contact me for something. So, the idea is, at least in my mind, this is somebody I haven't seen in a long time. Like, so long they don't know I don't live there, they don't have my phone number, and they don't have me on Facebook. Now, I've eliminated many people off my Facebook over the years. It's like, well, I haven't talked to you in 4 years, I haven't even seen you, I'm sorry, I'm going to dump you off Facebook until later. So, I have no idea who it was. Hasn't come back. But it almost feels like it was somebody who was like kind of in the neighborhood and just stopped by at 6 in the morning, like clearly cracked out, like and strange. But it seems like they were probably there for a while, like pounding on the door, like either the front door or the side door, or rather the kitchen door. It's a really strange thing. We have no idea. Now, mind you, there are family members who are a little out there as well. And maybe they didn't realize I don't live there. Like, obviously I go and I visit my parents and I'll spend time over there. I'll work on projects over there. So it's possible that it's like a fringe family member who lives kind of nearby and needed something. Why they need me other than like, I don't know, mechanical knowledge. I have no clue. I have no idea. There was no real reason for it and no reason given that this person, showed up knocking on the door. And now, mind you, my mom didn't recognize him. Like, she recognizes people pretty easily unless it's been a while. Like, she just so happened to run into an old friend a little bit before that. Actually, it was the day before, because she called me about it initially, and it was a guy that I have seen fairly recently, an old friend of mine from school, who has changed jobs again, and just now happens to be working at an inspection place that she went to. And she didn't recognize him because he had a beard and a giant belly and stuff like. Didn't recognize him at all. He recognized her when he saw the name, stuff like that. He's like, hey, because my mom was like everybody's mom. Like, if you were one of my friends, she was going to be your mom too. Like, it was that kind of situation. And mind you, I had a couple like misfit friends over the years. And then I also just had the collection of my friends who were basically like my siblings, you know. So there were different rankings, but like, it's really strange. I have no idea who it was. Nobody's tried to contact me that I could see. I mean, I've gotten the normal random phone calls from my best friend Scam Likely, but I don't think it was anybody like that. It didn't seem like it was like one guy suggested maybe it was a cop looking for me with like an outstanding warrant. I was like, not that I know of. Um, and I only have one piece of mail that goes to their house. Uh, just because even though I've changed that address, it still goes there for no reason. So didn't seem like anybody on a professional level. Didn't seem like anybody who would be kind of stalkery, because it seems like it'd be a little difficult to pull off, let alone they were referring to me by my real name, not by Shoki. So I do appreciate everyone's concern. Now, do my parents need to get a Ring doorbell? They're not going to. They're on a fixed income as it is. At the moment, I'm on a pretty fixed income because I just had to repair my car. Um, and, like I said, it would have to be somebody who I don't have on Facebook, who doesn't follow me, or I'm not friends with. It would be somebody who doesn't have my phone number because they would just call or text me, and somebody who I haven't seen in so long that they don't know I don't live there. So I have no frame of reference as to who it could be. Even the description doesn't really match, because if it was like a younger person, like in their 20s, mind you, I knew people, but I mean, like, I don't know anybody who would fit that description. The truck is a vague description at best, because in this area, that type of vehicle is incredibly common. So I have no clue. No clue whatsoever. And as far as I know, they haven't come back or anything. So, and it's actually not unlike some of my old friends to just drop by if they're in the neighborhood, but at 6 a.m. pounding on the door. Like, that to me stated like there was a somewhat emergency that for whatever reason they needed me for, but I have no clue. I have no idea. It's very strange. Now, like I said, my parents have an alarm system, so if anybody did something stupid, it at least would have gone off. They don't have a Ring camera, like I said. They don't even really have an Amazon account, and frankly, I don't. I mean, it would be my parents' decision, but in my own life, I don't want Amazon to have access to my home, whether that's via Ring doorbell or uh, an Alexa or on anything like that. So to me, I don't have those things. Like I said, I don't think it's a stalker. I think it's either a fringe family member who needed me for some reason, or a cracked out old friend who didn't even know I don't live there, who also like either had a random thought or whatever, because it doesn't even fit the description of anything. Because if it was somebody I know, they would have my number, they would have me on Facebook. Any way, shape, or form, they could have contacted me for something. So somebody who could not contact me and doesn't know I don't live there. So, really strange, I know. But I hope that clears it up for some people, because it doesn't clear it up for me. But I wanted you guys to know what was happening, and it was easier to do this rather than type it all out. So yeah, I got to take care of some stuff around the house, and I've got a thing that I might try to do tonight over on my other channel. And now I'm really concerned. I hope that's not a water leak up there that's done that. I think it's just shifting stuff. Anyway, but I'll see you guys later. Thanks as always for at least caring that weird crap has happened. So, bye guys.